What, you know what? Just to be safe. Thing you did ended up saving your ass later? I was an expediter at a restaurant. It was super busy, and I was trying to get runners for food. Was about to send out a stack of dim sum when I looked at the ticket again with a note that said no peanuts on the tempura tofu. I had read it earlier and didn't sprinkle peanuts on it. Another server was about to run it to the table when I told him to wait and get the actual server for the table. We were slammed and he was kinda pissed, but went and got him. The actual server comes back and he's all frustrated when I ask him, does your no peanuts guy not like peanuts, or is he allergic to them? Server responds with, he's very allergic to them, that's why I put no peanuts on the ticket. He was all being SIT with me. I told him, well, the F-King tempura tofu is fried in F-King peanut oil. Didn't realize the head chef was behind me and heard the whole thing. Server didn't know we only used peanut oil. It was an Asian fusion really nice upscale restaurant. Needless to say, she, the head chef, F-King reamed this guy. I was a half second from sending that food out too. Would have been bad. Safety glasses. When working away, it's easy to talk yourself into doing something really quick without them, and there is always a voice in your head yelling at you to put them on. Stopped grinding the thing I was working on, got my glasses, came back, and then this chunk flies up and cracks the right lens. Spidey senses 1, Murphy's Law 0. I knock out my shoes and squeeze the toes for good measure. Hi Mr. Brown Recluse. Only happened once, but once was enough to convince me it was a good habit to have. I've had a handful of these in my life. The one that popped in my head first was from a party when I was 16. It was in a small farm town about 20-25 minutes from my actual town, and everyone was out partying in somebody's parents' barn and having a real good time. I didn't realize that RDD had been drinking all night. When it was time to go, I couldn't even tell she was tipsy, but something wasn't right, so I didn't want to drive back with them. For whatever reason, I decided to get the verbal tongue lashing from my mom when she came to pick me up. Well, my friends in the first car were apparently veering across the road, got picked up by the cops, and all of them got to spend the night in jail. Glad I opted for my mom. Arrive in San Francisco a week into a trip. As we gather our things during a moment of downtime, I go back to check the bus cause, you know, it never hurts. Found my passport, which I had no idea I'd dropped. When I was like 5 years old, my parents took my sister and me to a planetarium show, and every kid got a souvenir pencil that had the distances of the planets from the sun written on it: Mercury, Venus, Earth, etc. The guy running the planetarium show said something like, hang on to these pencils until 7th grade, kids, and you can use them to cheat on your astronomy tests. He was joking, but I never forgot, and sure enough, it was the exact pencil I used to cheat on astronomy in 7th grade. I felt smart, but also bad, because I didn't feel good cheating, and almost never cheated after that. I had a car sitting on jack stands because I needed to do some transmission work. Before climbing under it, I thought it'd be a good idea to rock the car around. One of the jack stands was not in the right spot and the car slipped off it, slamming down on the front disc brakes. Would have killed me. This is from 30 years ago, so some details may be different these days. After enlisting in the army, recruits get a list of everything they must bring to boot camp. On this list was a padlock. During processing the 5 or so days before the real training starts, recruits are given their military equipment, including duffel bags, and told to put their things they brought with them in the duffel bag. After finally getting everything and I was left with just the padlock, I had no idea what to do with it, but I noticed if I closed my duffel bag in a certain way, I could close the lock on the hook. So when we get to the training unit and off the cattle trucks and a few hundred drill sergeants are yelling and screaming and telling us to line up, which we do, with our duffel bags in front of us, the drill sergeants then proceed to check if the bags are locked, and if not, they grab them at the bottom and whirled them around, flinging the entire contents on the ground. Everyone in the entire company had their stuff dumped except for me and one other guy, only because locking my duffel bag was the only thing I thought of doing. Putting it in my pocket was not an option, because they were very clear about not having any civilian items in our uniform pockets. Saved an email where a lead developer told me to do something stupid. A couple years later, him now manager who liked to yell at his subordinates. We were talking about this stupid behavior and he yelled, "Well, why did you do that?" I pulled up his email, clearly instructing me to do just that. He sputtered and walked off, speechless. This guy is one of the reasons I still have trust issues with management, even after a string of really competent, caring, trustworthy managers. Take 10 before you send has saved my ass countless times. Means take 10 seconds to reread your email, post whatever written communication before you send. Emails, especially in the workplace, last forever. I bought a used Subaru Badger that was 5 years old at the time and had 75k miles for $12k. The salesman offered an extended warranty that covered the engine for $2,500, would last 3 years, 36k miles. That was kind of a lot, and I usually don't buy those. I don't know what got into me that day, but I said sure. 1 month and 750 miles later, after an oil change at a mechanic shop, oil started shooting into the pistons. I'm not good with cars. Oil went where it wasn't supposed to go. Completely ruined the engine and turbo. The dealer had to keep it for 3 weeks. The warranty company flew someone out to inspect the car and eventually approved a replacement engine, turbo, and any other affected parts. Total repairs cost almost $11k, and the warranty then applied to all the new parts too. Car drove like it was brand new. Later discovered the car had 5 previous owners before me, but I couldn't find any accident or serious repair history. This is probably the only time buying an extended warranty on something actually worked out in my favor. I bought a really nice tablet a few years ago, a Wacom Intuos Cintiq, essentially a drawing tablet built into a laptop for animation and the like. Sometimes when you buy nice things they come in nice boxes, and for some reason I don't really want to throw this box away immediately. I put it in the storage area of my basement and forgot about it. After only about a month this $2,500 tablet stopped working. It wasn't dropped or damaged, and I'm still not sure how it broke. It would simply try to boot up and fail, crashing and demanding a restart. I called support, and after several calls and many hours, we were unable to resolve the issue. They said I could send it back and get a new one if it wasn't physically damaged. They told me it needed to be sent back in the original box. I now keep boxes for everything I buy until the warranty expires. TL. Doctor, cardboard box saved me from wasting $2,500 on a plastic brick.